Hello everybody, welcome to Redmen TV. My name's Dan Clubb and I will be your host for this fan cam. I'm joined by three of our amazing club legends in the studio stroke kitchen of Redmen TV to talk about Southampton 4, Liverpool 4 in what was a thriller, but it really shouldn't have been because, let's face it was a dead rubber from the outset. So, Sparrow, my mate, how are we doing? That was a game of football that happened. Liverpool raced into the lead, didn't they? Good start, but what happened after that?
I can't remember. I was too busy. I was focusing on...
Perfect, let's go from there.
No, yeah, strong start. And then, I don't know, I think all the Southampton players decided we actually like being Premier League players. Let's put ourselves in the window for next season. And they decided to play a game of football. Like, they haven't scored 4 goals all season. No, sorry, since January.
Yeah.
And today, the last day of the season, when it means nothing to anyone, they come out and they play that. And it was a good game of football from them. And we let them do it. There was a couple of little individual errors which made it too easy for them. And then all the changes made a difference for us and we came back to the team we've seen for the last 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah.
It's a bit of an odd game, really. We gave them the opportunity and they took it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was an odd game. Yeah, I don't want to talk about sort of the individual errors and some of the more individual performances a little bit later. But for you then, like I say, we race into an early lead. Bobby Firmino gets his fitting moment, doesn't he? He was always going to sign off with something and he signed off with a very good goal as well.
I just don't want him to frigging leave. I really want him to stay and he's not going to. If he goes to frigging Real Madrid, I'd be gutted. I'd be fuming.
Nice goal though, wasn't it, today? Took it well. I mean, that is, if Bobby was going to sign off, it was going to be in style. It was going to be sitting defenders down, then Meggs in the keeper. Let's be honest, that was fitting for him.
Yeah, definitely. You've got to put people on their ass just to get the goal.
Yeah, it was very Arsenal, wasn't it, from a few years ago. So I mentioned a minute ago how we, like say, race into a lead and then we allow Southampton into the game. It's almost as if they kind of went, we're not just going to sort of lie down and get our belly tickled last game of the season. Maybe a few of the players sort of saying, no, I want to be a Premier League footballer next year and go out with a little bit of pride. But as Liverpool, it was a team kind of sort of thrown together. They won't play together a lot. So you've got to give them some sort of leeway on that. But we were too mistake-laden today, weren't we? We did allow them back into the game, it's fair to say.
Yeah, I think 4-4 is very indicative of how well both our attack and our defence played. I feel like the attack went out there and they looked cohesive. They looked like they know their roles, like they were in a system where everyone was very well drilled and that's how we scored our 4 goals. I think the defence looked a bit thrown together. I think we've established Kostas Tsimikas is not a left centre-back by any stretch of the imagination. No. I think if he's going to play a further part in Liverpool's season, it's going to have to be in a flat-back 4. Matip, although he's looked quite good in the right-back area, or the right centre-back, should say, area, covering before for Trent, I feel like he looked exposed at times today. I feel like the one-to-one defending that we love Konate for, where like he just sweeps in, deals with situations, and we're on the attack straight away. I feel like Matip got skipped around far too many times, and I feel like that Trent felt like he didn't trust Matip enough and kept having to come and help out with the situation. Joe Gomez, I thought he would be the one to step in at right back because of the athleticism that he's known for. Exactly, yeah. So I thought he'd be the more right-back option. But he didn't look like in control of any sort of shit. Physically, he was spot on, honestly. Like the duels and the pace is still really there. It was really nice to see some of the old Joe Gomez, like rapid pace come back there when he was running back. But I feel like being more disciplined, being more control of that system, I don't feel like he's got the leadership qualities need to be in the centre of that back 3.
No, it was an interesting one. I want to touch on that point a little bit later, maybe even in the player ranking show that we do after this one, because I was sort of surprised at how they lined up at the back, because it felt to me as if Gomez would be a natural fit over there and he goes central. But just on another point, I think we've seen Kelleher come into the side today, didn't we? And it wasn't his finest hour, I think it's fair to say. We all kind of joked how he's playing himself out of a move potentially. We want him to stick around, of course we do. We think he's boss. If you were sort of a prospective buyer looking at that performance today, you wouldn't be sort of throwing 30 million down on the table for him, would you?
No, not anymore. 2 of those he should have done significantly better with, and the other 2 at least a little better. Like if you're looking at those goals and you're going, Alisson's in goal, there's no way they score 4. Not at all, not even close. And he didn't look comfortable with the ball at his feet today, oddly enough. Like we didn't look all that comfortable playing out from the back, and maybe that's just because we haven't got Alisson commanding that back 4 and they haven't got that surety. But playing out the back, we all looked a little bit less cohesive and a little bit less comfortable than we do. And I do think that's partially because Joe Gomez isn't a natural leader in the back four, and partially because they're all a little bit nervous because Alisson's not there. Yeah, it wasn't a good game for Kelleher for me in general. If he's trying to get himself a move, he's took a step back.
Yeah, that wasn't it, was it? If he's trying to get himself a move, no, not at all. I want to talk a little bit about the changes, because I think the changes, actually, we touched upon it earlier. Southampton came out flying second half. They really did. They took control of the game. We looked a little bit shell-shocked by it, but I do think that's us not quite being at it. I think it's fair to say the team not really cohesive, not really gelling, hasn't really played together. But I want to talk about when we made them changes. So Cody Gakpo and Harvey Elliott, they're the two for me that really took the game by the scruff of the neck again for Liverpool. It's getting on the ball, making things happen. How impressed were you with them today?
Very impressed. Maybe if we would have done the subs a little bit earlier, it might have made a little bit more of an impact. But they were the right subs at, I don't know, maybe not the right time. Like I said, maybe a little bit earlier. But they were the right subs, definitely. Yeah,
absolutely they were, yeah. And Liverpool find themselves back into the game all of a sudden. Gakpo gets a goal, Trent with the assist for that one. And Mohamed Salah's actually influential. It wasn't Mohamed Salah's greatest game, I think it's fair to say today. He started having chances towards the back end, chasing that 20th goal of the season, of course. But Jota, I want to talk about his finishing, because I've said it for so long now. The main sort of point of his game, his strongest attribute, is how clinical he is in front of goal. And I think it was important that he finished today with a couple, because going into next season, he needed that confidence boost for me.
Yeah, I feel like him coming back into the team and coming back with some goals, it's him justifying what he's in that team to do, because he's not integral to our build-up play. We've got Salah and we've got Gakpo for that. He's not integral towards dribbling. We've got Luis Diaz, who does that till he's blue in the face. We've got all these other players who bring so much, and the fans know it, and I think he knows what he's in that team for is to score goals when we need them. And to go into a brand new season where he's going to be arguably one of the most key faces in our new front three, so to speak, our new front four, or whatever it is, our attacking options. Yeah. It's him stamping his authority over, listen, you might have brought Gakpo, you might have brought Luis Diaz, you might have had all these new toys, but I'm still here, don't forget about me, and I'm going to stamp my intent on.
Absolutely, mate, and it's important to do that, because you're right in saying if you were a professional athlete, regardless of sport, if you see somebody else sort of knocking on the door of your position, you're going to want to show what you're worth every single time you play, and Jota's done that today, to be fair, 2 more goals. And just before we wrap up then, we have to talk about the 2 lads. I know there's 4 left in total, Artemello as well, yeah, I'll say it under my breath. The 4 lads, and the 2 especially today, who have left Liverpool Football Club, they played their final minutes. Bobby came off early, Milner gets the 90. I want to give you all an opportunity just to say your little piece on those 2, especially Milner and Bobby.
Milner, for a start, had one of the most James Milner games he's ever had. Started in the midfield, moved to left back, put a shift in for the full 90, despite the fact that he's about...
It's what he would have wanted.
Exactly, yeah. Despite the fact that he's about 8,000 years old, he still did the full 90 and he did it well.
He's still younger than me.
He's only about 8 minutes older than me, don't worry about it. He's... No, that was a typical James Milner performance. It was great. Yeah. Same from Bobby. That's the most Bobby goal I've seen him score in a while, and it's an exceptionally fitting tribute for Bobby's Liverpool career to score that goal today. It was brilliant.
Yeah, like you say, again, what he would have wanted, probably sitting defenders down left, right and centre and slotting it through the keeper's legs. Final words on them 2, buddy?
Oh, can't say any more about Bobby for me. You know, it's just probably the best goal I've ever seen him score. If not, see like the one that he done against Man United when it went through his legs.
Okay, yeah.
And Milner. Yeah. Oh, I'm gutted he's leaving.
Yeah, nice moments for both of them. And finally, just on their Liverpool careers, mate, not even necessarily on today, just 2 legends of the football club.
Yeah, not necessarily the most overstated members, maybe certainly not Milner, but I think they deserve to be. I think their legacy speaks for itself. If you look back at the team they've been a part of, what they've accomplished while they've been at the club, all that sort of stuff, I feel like today was the icing on a cake for them, on terms of it wasn't the result necessarily that we wanted, it wasn't the end of the season that we wanted, but I feel like if you asked us to show you what a Bobby Firmino performance looked like, or a Jimmy Milner, but the Swiss Army knife of a player performance looked like, that was typically it, and I feel like that speaks for itself.
Yeah, 100%. It's a good way to end. Yeah, gutted they're leaving. Gutted we didn't get the 3 points to send them off with as well. But that will be all for the fan cam. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much to James Milner, and obrigado to Bobby Firmino. Take it easy. See you soon.
Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed that show. Do you want to get your hands on some amazing Liverpool merchandise? Well, if you become a Redmen Plus Club legend on a yearly subscription, we'll instantly send you 2 merch codes to get you 2 pieces of merchandise from redmenmerch.com. T-shirts are amazing. Go and get yourselves one. Simply become a Redmen Plus Club legend on a yearly subscription, and that code will be in your inbox very, very shortly.